I'm Mikella, reporting here for Kids First, and today I'm here with the award-winning director Anthony Stacchi and producer Peilin Chou for the new Netflix animated film The Monkey King. Thank you so much for joining me today. My first question can be for Mr. Stacchi. What originally drew you into taking on this film?
Oh, I've always loved folk tales. Ever since we were in school, I went to film school and animation school. They taught us that looking at folk tales for story ideas was great. So about 20 years ago, I'd read Journey to the West, which is an ancient Chinese folk tale, and the Monkey King character comes from that folk tale. And I loved it when I read it because it was so modern in its sensibility. And Monkey's such a funny character, and I just thought it would always make a great movie. So for years, I tried to get it started at other studios. And luckily, in 2018, I met Peilin, who had been working on it for years too, and had a studio that actually wanted to make it.
And it's really cool how you created that story into this film.
Yeah.
So my next question is for Peilin. How has your experience on other films you've worked on influenced you with this one?
I think that this film the source material is famously dense. So to adapt it into a film that was going to be relatable and accessible for a modern day global audience, it's kind of like the jujitsu level development of adaptations. And so I do feel like the experiences I had working on other films, some of them were also adaptations of famous legends or gods within them, and were based in Chinese culture, really helped to inform the approach for this film, and particularly the balance of how to make the film new and fresh and exciting for the audience that already knows the film, as well as making it relatable and accessible for an audience that has never heard of Monkey King or Journey to the West.
And I definitely think that you had like a really good balance of those two things that you were just saying. What would you say inspired the animation specifically for the film?
Well, like Peilin was saying, there's been a long history of the Monkey King or Journey to the West being made into movies. So oftentimes they're live action movie, they're not animated. So a lot of times there's a man dressed as a monkey, with monkey makeup and stuff, and there's special effects and stuff. So we knew we were making 100% animated film. So we knew that our look of the monkey character would be a monkey. He'd be 100% a monkey, and he shouldn't look like a man in monkey makeup. And that because of who his character was, he would start the movie moving like a monkey. But then as he began to grow up and became more arrogant and more powerful, he'd start to move more like an arrogant man and stuff. So the style of Monkey's animation grew out of that. And then we made sure that one of the people we were working with was a Hong Kong filmmaker named Stephen Chow, who's famous for making movies like Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle. We asked him to introduce us to a choreographer in mainland China who knew how to do martial arts. So we met a young choreographer named Siwei Zhao, who had played the Monkey King in the Peking Opera, who knows martial arts and also can animate, can draw and stuff. So we used him to inspire all our fighting sequences and a lot of our poses for monkey. So really coming from the monkey style of animation, that's our main character. So once we figured out how he would move, we knew that our little girl, who's just a normal human being, should move like a normal human. And then our villain, who's an underwater dragon king, who lives underwater, whose natural habitat is underwater. The idea there was that when he's underwater, he moves beautifully. Beautiful, like a butterfly. But when he's above water, he's really awkward because he's not supposed to be above ground. And there could be some comedy in there. So almost always, if you take the time to really get to know your characters, they'll tell you the way they should move because their personality comes out of their movement. And then you have conversations with the animators and even the actors when they're doing the voices, and you talk about you know, the way they should deliver the lines, because this is the way the character is going to move during that moment.
That's really cool how you took all of those things to create the animation. So, Miss Chou, how do you think that the Monkey King and Lin were able to put their differences aside and come together in the end?
Of course, their relationship starts out as a relationship of convenience, right? They both want and need things from one another. And I would say in a traditional Western film, they would both really learn and grow and learn important lessons that enables them to come together in a different way. And I think that one of the things that was really important to us about our approach on the Monkey King was staying true to Monkey as a character. And from the original Journey to the West, he actually doesn't learn or change or grow all that much. And I think it's something that is kind of integral to who he is, that we've kind of fiercely protected throughout the process. But the one thing we felt like we could see from him was a caring for another person. I don't want to spoiler the movie, but I do feel like they got to a different level of understanding with each other, while still being able to have Monkey remain true to who he is.
Right. It was really cool to see like how their relationships were able to mesh together since they were so different.
Yeah.
So Mr. Stacchi, what do you hope that this will teach viewers about this movie, specifically kids?
The like Peilin said, is Lin, the little girl character who goes through a journey where she starts out, you know, wanting to do something big with her life, something important to affect her world and stuff. And she has the sort of, you know, the sort of philosophy at the beginning that even a small pebble can make a big ripple. But by the end of the movie, she learns that she's the one who's in control of writing her own scroll, of deciding what her life's going to be, deciding. So I think that takeaway from it, that you're in charge, that you write your own scroll, would be a great thing if kids remember that, you know, in their head, that's their takeaway to it.
And I definitely think what you're saying was shown throughout the film. So my final question for Mr. Stacchi, the film is based on the Ming Dynasty, so how much did you know about it before starting on the film?
Our production designer, Kyle McQueen, did the deep dive into the different dynasties for the look of stuff, like the robes that the gods are wearing, the style on the robes there, the headdresses that they wear and all that stuff. You know, we added a little bit of our own take on everything, but it was definitely inspired from those different periods. The other thing, that it's not really authentic, it's certainly not authentic to Chinese history, but the fact that Stick is a character, Monkey's fighting stick, as a character with a voice, is a unique idea that Peilin had brought to the story before I even got there. And I love that everybody knows the way Monkey acquires Stick is pretty close to the folktale. The way Stick, he uses Stick and the way he fights with it is pretty authentic. But the fact that he's a character who talks is something brand new that we brought to it and stuff. So I like that stuff. It's got a little bit of authenticity, but also our own little unique twist to it.
That's interesting. And for me, like, I had just learned about this culture in school this previous year, so it was really cool to see it in like a film. So yeah, those are all of the questions I have for you today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Chou and Mr. Stacchi, for joining us today. Be sure to watch The Monkey King on Netflix starting August 11th, 2023. I'm Mikella reporting here for Kids First. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss another one of our videos. Bye!